Hello everyone, I am Kartiki Sanak and I am a student of first year MBBS in SVN GMC Yavatmal. I am here to decipher one of the medical mysteries and become the Sherlock of this contest. So here is my case. A 65-year-old man, he is presenting with night blindness, peripheral vision defects and myopia. He also wears corrective lenses. So after gaining this information, I reduced my diagnosis to the following probabilities. I'll explain it to you now. The first one is glaucoma. It is a group of disorders which occurs due to increase in intraocular pressure from 16 to 23 millimeters of mercury. Now these are the types of glaucoma. We can actually rule out congenital because it is infantile type of glaucoma and our patient is of 65 years old. So what remains is acquired. There are two types of acquired, primary and secondary. Since there is no obvious cause, secondary glaucoma is ruled out. What remains is primary. Primary is further divided into two types, wide angle or open angle glaucoma and closed angle glaucoma. So let's see these types in detail now. We can actually rule out closed angle glaucoma. Why? Because in closed angle glaucoma there is increase in intraocular pressure abruptly. So there are abrupt symptoms like redness of the eye, nausea, eye pain, headache, visual halos, etc. But these are no such complaints are seen in our case. So what remains is open angle type of glaucoma. What happens in a normal eye first? Ciliary epithelium, which is present over here, it secretes aqueous humor, which then flows into the posterior chamber, then through the pupil into the anterior chamber. Then this aqueous humor, it is drained out of the eye through a drainage system which consists of trabecular meshwork and canal of Schlemm. It is drained into the episcleral venous system. But what happens in glaucoma is this drainage system, it is blocked, or clogging of this drainage system takes place. So as a result, aqueous humor is not drained out, so there is increase in intraocular pressure. This results in optic nerve damage. This further results in peripheral vision loss. So this is the mechanism of what happens in open angle glaucoma, and also the symptoms are consistent with that of our case. So I think this is a probable diagnosis. Going to the next probable diagnosis, that is retinitis pigmentosa. It is an inherited disorder and it has three classical symptoms, that is nyctalopia or night blindness, peripheral vision loss and photopsia, that is called as light flashes, seeing light flashes. Why I think it is less likely to be our case is because one thing, it is rare disorder. Second thing, it is an inherited disorder, so it should have been detected earlier when the patient was young. Also there are no complaints of photopsia by our patient, and also there is no mention of family history of retinitis pigmentosa. Going to the next, that is retinal detachment. As you can see here, what happens in retinal detachment is that there are 10 layers of retina. The first layer or the outermost pigmental layer, it gets separated from the innermost 9 layers, and in between the separation there is the potential space. It gets filled with fluid. It causes the symptoms which are consistent with that of our patient. But why I think it is less likely that retinal detachment is our case is because one thing is that the symptoms like light flashes or floaters, which are associated with retinal detachment, they are not complained by our patient. The next is that there is a defect in the field of vision corresponding to the area detached. But in our case, we have a perfect bitemporal heteronymous hemianopia. So the chances of an exact bilateral retinal detachment are very rare. But still, to confirm retinal detachment, we should do confirmatory tests like B-scan in sonography, and we can check up by ophthalmoscope. The next is lesion. So this is the visual tract. If there is a lesion over here in the medial side of the optic chiasma, then it causes a bitemporal heteronymous hemianopia. But mostly it is related to pituitary tumors or meningioma, and it has different manifestations which are pituitary hormones related, which have pituitary hormones related symptoms, but our patient is not complaining about any of these. And also lesion in the visual tract, it does not explain night blindness and myopia, we have in our case. So it is less likely that lesion is the probable diagnosis. The next diagnosis is vitamin A deficiency. In vitamin A deficiency, the symptoms are xerophthalmia or dry eye, cornea conjunctiva, and dry skin, sterility, retardation in growth. Also, this is called as Bitot spot. There is keratin deposition in the sclera. But xerophthalmia, dryness of the skin, and Bitot spot, these are not seen in our case. So vitamin deficiency is less likely to be our case. And also, if there is vitamin deficiency, it does not explain the peripheral vision loss in our patient. So it is also less likely that vitamin A is the case. So after ruling out the less likely possibilities, the most probable diagnosis is open angle type of glaucoma. Now we can confirm our diagnosis by doing few tests. That is, first test is tonometry. It is a measurement of intraocular pressure of the eye of the patient. We can also look for optic nerve damage in imaging, and there is a characteristic cupping of the eye wall, cupping of the optic disc, which is seen in open angle glaucoma. Now, management of the diagnosis. How can open angle glaucoma be managed? First, we have to try medications. The medications which decrease intraocular pressure. Their mechanism of action is to decrease the production of aqueous humor and increase the outflow of aqueous humor. So, few examples of the medications are beta-adrenergic antagonists, carbonic anhydrase inhibitors, prostaglandin analogs, alpha-adrenergic agonists. If the medications don't work, we can opt for laser treatments. The most commonly done laser treatment is trabeculoplasty. In this treatment, by using laser treatment, we can open up the trabecular meshwork. This allows the aqueous humor to be drained out of the eye easily, and then it further decreases the intraocular pressure. Other laser treatments include destroying the aqueous humor producing cells and creating a new channel to drain out the aqueous humor out of the eye. One more technique available is implants, by which we can shunt the fluid out of the anterior chamber by bypassing the meshwork and drainage system. And this is how we can manage our most probable diagnosis, that is open angle glaucoma. So the code is deciphered, and thanks for watching. Case closed.